Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today is day 3 of MultiVersus officially being released again to the public. And, well, since I had time to play the game, see most characters in play, I think it's fair for me to at least make some guesstimates of where I think characters are based on how well they are in this new meta and very completely different game. Um, I'm not gonna put them like in order, so it's not gonna be like the first one on the top thing is gonna be like the best of the best. It's just gonna be wherever I believe that I can place them in, and validly defend them or argue against them. So let's go through it. Obviously, I haven't seen every single character at their top play, just because not everybody's playing everybody. Like Iron Giant, haven't seen much of, and if I have seen him, he was getting bodied. So we'll go through it, and hopefully at the end of this I can make a cohesive, nice list after it all. So first we got Arya. Arya I'm probably going to put in high tier, probably not top tier. And the reason is that assassins now are super vulnerable to dying at like 30, right? But if we are like at the top play, I definitely think Arya can be up there with her new face steal and being able to use a lot more specials and stuff like that instead of just one basic attack, like the neutral attack. That's really good. That really helps her in her combo game, and she's just a very good character, very high ceiling, and I believe that she could be high tier. Though again, top tier only because she can die very fast to basically anyone. A lot of this now is like if you get up there in just the top one, the side ones, you get ringed out really early, and Arya is no exception. I think I've seen her die at like 18 at like Cromulons from the far left. Like it is insane how light she is from like a Superman punch. Like it was uh insanely low. Next is Banana Guard, and Banana Guard is another person I would put at high tier. He is an easy character to play, in my opinion. He's really easy. He's pretty simple in what he wants to do. He just wants to smack you around. And his basic moves that will kill is side air and side special, both in the air and on the ground, especially on the ground, and up air. Like all those moves, basically, if you hit anybody at 100, even like Jason, right? Probably even Iron Giant. If you get him to 100, maybe give yourself a little bit of iron pumping through the body. You probably will bring him out at 100 anywhere. Like he's insanely strong when it comes to just finishing off the job with those two moves. And in lower play, obviously, with like the dash, it can get very annoying. My like overall assumption of Banana Guard, he is just a Waddle Dee version of Shaggy. That he just has some longer hitboxes and longer uh, frames at the end. A lot of end lag on his moves, but it's very rewarding if you hit it, and if you just spam because well we don't got attack decay. So yeah. Next is Batman. I'll probably put him in mid tier. And by the way, I'm just doing this like overall, right? It's not like towards ones or twos, just because I feel like you can almost make every single character work. But I'll make sure I preference what I'm going for. Probably ones for now. I'll probably lean more there, just because twos is a lot more hectic. And honestly, I don't even see the games being really that much of a twos game anymore. But again, I talked about that before. If you want to check out my last video on that, but Batman is up next. He can kill insanely early still. I've seen some juggles with him. It's harder to get Batman juggles, but it's honestly kind of hard to juggle anybody in the sky anymore. Just how slow you are and just everything like that. It's kind of hard to officially keep people up there. But if Batman can do it, he can do it. He has some nice things to get him closer to people. The reason I put him more down mid tier than high tier is that Batarang and the bombs and everything like that are not what they used to. Battering slower, you really can't loop it around you for that long, right? Everything that made Batman really good in the beta kind of doesn't exist anymore, and all he really got is those stacks of weaken and then again just up air juggling you if you can read where you're gonna go. But other than that, it's just kind of like a basic fighter. He's not bad though, and I don't know if he's really that like weak as in like defensive. I think he's somewhat mid-range weightish, at least from what I've fought against. Next is Black Adam, and honestly, maybe we'll come back to him just because I haven't seen enough Black Adam. Maybe I'll put him around mid tier just because he does seem like he could be a good character. He's another character that can juggle you up, and he probably has an easier time doing that just with his fly and a lot of his moves having some big hitboxes. But I don't think he's really that much higher without having any Tactic K2. He can just keep punching the ground and just creating like those little sparks, it seems like, because I fought someone and they kept doing that. It was very annoying. And like if it's a strategy, it's a strategy, but he seems like a good character, but he's still kind of meh. Just like kind of like the beta. Now Bugs Bunny, if we're talking about twos, he's obviously top tier. His stupid safe glitch that like gets you to like 2,000 damage is just insane. I like how Bugs Bunny is like one of the broken characters for at least the beta and this one, just based off of their glitches. But yeah, obviously he would be top tier. But now if we have to think, not like that. I'd probably still put him in high tier. I feel like his rocket doesn't do as much anymore like it used to. A lot of projectiles right now don't really feel like they used to do how much as they used to do. Projectiles back then used to feel very threatening, like Tom and like Jerry and the rocket and the safe. But the safe I think is honestly the one that's still pretty good just because of like the weird like hitbox and stuff. But he doesn't really have that. He has infinite pies now, which I guess is cool. Um, again, projectile super slow, pretty tiny. I don't know if it's really that great. Maybe it is, but I put him up here. He can do some combos. There's like an infinite where you just hit him with a hammer and then you do your safe like punch downwards, and it's just a loop. So yeah, we'll put Bug D there. I think he's good. No one really up in top tier yet. Next is Finn, and Finn's got nerfed, but I still think he's pretty high tier. He's just same thing like Arya. Like he's weak. Like he can get reamed out at like 20% if you got someone like Jason smacking him around. But without that, he is still a insanely good character. He still got that down spike that hits you from a mile above. He doesn't have Gem anymore, but I don't really think he needs it anymore because back then Gem was probably needed more because of how big the spaces were. But now since everything's kind of contracted, the screen is not that big, and everything just feels a lot more close, nitty gritty style, I feel like Gem wouldn't even like add that much gameplay to him. So him having just a backpack bounce is cool. Yeah, I just put him high tier. He can still kill people pretty early too, just based off of him just being Finn. He can still do those insanely good carry overs and just up and above. And he just has a good spike. But just overall, like if you get unlucky, you can lose stocks super quick, super fast. Now Garnet, I think Garnet's the only one I have to put down here for right now at least. I don't know. I don't think I've seen one Garnet player and they kind of acted the same way as before. Maybe low tier, maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen enough Garnet. I haven't played Garnet. I never played Garnet, you know. So I think I'm gonna have to keep her for here. If I had to pick a spot, maybe low tier just because again, I haven't seen much of her. Gizmo. Where do I want to put Gizmo? I maybe would put Gizmo down here. If we're thinking again ones, he doesn't really have like a lot. He has popcorn that's infinite now, but you can only have one, which is pretty good, right? Um, he still has limited bows. His up special feels a little bit more janky than it used to. Overall, still kind of fits the same bill. His car is a little weird now. Again, most projectiles just feel kind of weird. Maybe if I had to like pick like a certain spot, maybe lower mid tier, but I think I'll just put him low tier for now. It's another character I haven't seen a lot of. I've seen a couple, and nothing really like was like, whoa, this character looks super good. But yeah, we'll put him there. Harley, I think I'll put around mid tier. Harley, I don't know. I feel like this assassin got kind of gutted from what the beta was. She doesn't feel as fast anymore. She doesn't feel like she can really keep you in those strings that long anymore. At least from the people I played against. Her hammer, still pretty much what it was back then. Still really big. Very big aerial and low on the ground. she can still kind of kill early with her up airs and up specials, but I don't know. I don't see it often. The balloons now like floating upwards don't really do much. I think if they just stayed still, I think that would made them a lot more effective. But them going up now just kind of is there. It's better for people fighting against her. It leaves less of a stall, but even then, you're just like, all right. Next is Iron Giant, and Iron Giant's another character I haven't seen a lot, but I'll probably put him low tier. I've played against him, and most of the times I played against him, he just got bodied. Like, he couldn't really do much. He was strong. He did a lot of damage back, and he could actually live long. Sometimes. Against Banana Guard, he died like 100. But, I don't know. From the people I saw, he still seems like the really big body that just gets smacked around pretty easily. I saw another thing online where it was just like grab into car, and I don't know if you could dodge out of it or not. But if that is a thing, that sucks. If it's not a thing, well, that sucks for Iron Giants. But I'm gonna put him low tier. I just haven't seen enough. Jake's a little bit interesting because Jake back then used to do a lot. And I feel like with the slowdown gameplay, I think it hurts him a lot. He used to be able to put so much offensive pressure on you to the point where you're like, man, I don't know what to do, right? Like, you have his hands coming through. He has a really far-reaching, just, aerial. And maybe you would think without a Tactic King now, you could really just keep spamming that move over and over and just kind of create just like this ugly path of being like, hey, I'm gonna stand over here, you have to come to me, and if you do come to me, I'm just gonna punch you. And he also has infinite, like, eats, but they have, like, that escape feature, which I don't even know how fully works, because sometimes I don't even grab anybody, and then I eat them, and then they're like, oh, they escaped. Well, what can we do about that? But, yeah, I think getting slowed was his biggest downfall, and the the slowedness to falling also hurt him because of his skateboard. His skateboard used to be an insanely good tool to start up combos, and it's a lot harder to hit now because just falling is super slow. So I'm gonna have to put him around mid tier. I don't think he's low tier, but I definitely think roughly around here. Now Jason's not high tier nor mid tier. I personally believe he is low tier. Now Jason is a strong motherfucker, right? He is a strong guy. I know that from experience. I played him. He does a lot of damage and he can kill insanely fast. The reason I'm going to put him in low tier though is because I find him to be insanely predictable, right? When you see someone teleporting, right, it's either of two things. They're going to teleport in front of you or teleporting behind you. And if you just look at him and he teleports, you just turn around and hit him. If he teleports and he doesn't have that perk, he's going to be in front of you, just hit there. I find it super predictable just to figure out where he's going to go, right? Now, it's harder if you get hit by the teleport, but it's still the same thing. He is going to be right next to you, so you can just expect something to come out. Or, you can just parry it, you can dodge it. Again, you can just throw off your own set of moves, and he can't hit you for at least a little bit, right? So, you will hit him first. He's super slow, and if we had to go to the twos category of this, he would be utter garbage. I've tried to play him in twos, and no, dude, you get bodied like hell. But I'm gonna have to put him in low tier. I believe he'll probably be low tier by the time everybody gets kind of used to everything. Right now, with everything being really new and everybody really being slow, he definitely can work a bit. But if they do end up speeding up everybody a little bit, I definitely think Jason will have a harder time, especially if there's like fast falling, like faster falling. I think he'll have a hard time getting out of combos. His teleports ain't gonna save him, His bag gives him an insane amount of end lag. Like, he is a big boy that can do an insane amount of damage. But if you're going against some of the best, and if things go change, I definitely think he's just getting rocked around. He's a cool character, though. He's a cool character. Joker. Now, I played a good fair bit of Joker day one. And honestly, for what I was seeing, I liked him a lot. I think I'm still going to put him high tier Joker is a cool character that doesn't. If you played against him, he does a lot of aerials. It's up crow into balloon, up to up crow into balloon, and it works very well. You can carry people for a good amount of time. Even good players still end up getting hit by it. You can even hold the balloon, call out their dodge, and then hit them, and they go flying. His cards are an insanely good tool that you can change by holding down. If you didn't know that, if you crouch, he'll shuffle his cards, and you can see at the bottom where it says it. There's a little pro tip for you if you play Joker. He has a very good forward air with his punching glove just being, insanely long. He has a armor breaker, which hurts one of the best characters that I believe that are in the game. Like, he does some insane. He has some things to combat almost everybody here. The reason I'm not gonna put him at top tier, is because one, I just don't think he really has like top tier material. His down special is kind of useless. Like the cannon and the Jack in the Box, like no one really falls for that. Same goes with your taser. Like it works sometimes, but it doesn't work all the time. Especially with like that hit priority in this game, where like if you collide with somebody else and you both get hit and you both go flying, now it's a little weird, and I really don't like that part either. I don't know why. I don't know. There's a lot of things that, as I slowly play, I'm just like, huh. I really don't like this that much, but yeah, it's the reason why I'm not gonna put him at top tier. But he is a solid character, and a pretty good new one at that. If I had to like rank him against him versus Banana Guard, I definitely think Banana Guard's still probably better of a new character. And then Jason's the lowest, but the coolest. Next is LeBron. And honestly, I think I'm going to put him top tier. Now, you already know that his balls just bounce infinitely. Or not bounce infinitely, but they hit infinitely. So if you drop one just on the stage, it will keep bouncing. And if someone gets under it, you can hit them. It'll just continuously hit them. And if you are able and lucky enough to get someone kind of like stuck there, you just win, right? Like you just pile and pile and pile, damage racks up, woohoo! And it's insanely good in doubles. The only thing that I see bad about him is that he doesn't have like a dunk anymore. He can't really do like a lot of his combos anymore. But honestly, I don't even think he really needs to. Like just dropping the ball and letting it bounce on stage and having multiple those that will constantly keep hitting is insanely good. And he can push him into it, right? He can still throw the ball. He still has like those nice ball throws at the edge of stage to kill people there. I don't know if his down with no ball is still good, but I personally think he can be top tier if someone really masters like the ball layout and getting people to get trapped under it, and then applying more and more and more. Like it is a bad day for no attack decay, because that would at least somewhat help, you know. But we don't believe in that anymore. My boy, the Martian, I'm gonna have to put him in low tier. They kind of gutted this guy. They got rid of the button spam, which for me personally, I'm kind of fine with, just because I don't like button spam. I used it because that's what you gotta use if you want to play good with the Martian. But it never felt good, because I felt Martian was someone that you wanted to like strategize with and stuff like that. But with him now, you can't do that. So button spamming is gone. You can no longer hold your down air like in the sky for a while and take damage from it, which I find really stupid, because I feel like that was a pretty nice trade-off. Because if you look stupid and just held it there, one, you had a pretty good amount of end lag, and then two, again, you were taking damage from that weapon. But they don't have that anymore. It still breaks shields, but definitely not as good as it used to be. And projectiles, honestly, again, just getting kind of nerfed this whole release, and everything being tinier and everything like that. He just doesn't really work anymore. Like, you can go bonkers with his other moves, possibly, but I still think all that just kind of binds him to just kind of be a weak as in fighting stance and weak as in living stance, because he's an assassin. Morty is up next, and for Morty, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of Morty. I'll put him mid tier just based on my experience. I think his grenades are still pretty good. They seem to explode pretty quick. You know, snakes, you can get those easy kills off the side and the top of the blast zones if you hit them right. And even, like, spiking, right? But, I don't know. I feel like there's something about him now that just doesn't work as much as it used to. I think it's honestly just the slowness. Morty's another character I like Jake, where speed was kind of his key because you can kind of keep people in those loops. You can try to juggle the grenades around, but now with everything kind of being slow, you kind of just have to let the grenades go in their own path or set them up in one place and then kind of play with them. Like, it's a lot harder to do those type of things now, and with that, I think he kind of fell a little bit. I still think he's not the worst, but he definitely was high tier in the beta, but now it's just kind of eh. Reindog is actually going to be our other character, and I don't know what the fuck they do because I don't think I actually seen a single Reindog online yet. I think he's like basically the same thing from what I've seen, at least because like I've tried everybody in the lab, but I don't know how well he will play online. I don't know if his projectiles are the same, as in like just being good, or now they're also just kind of weak based on it. I don't know. So you guys have to tell me about those two. I think the rest I could probably figure out just based off of what I've been seeing. But yeah, I definitely think we're gonna put Reindog. Just I don't know, because I really don't have any opinion on him. Because I really don't think I've seen a single Reindog ever, other than my teammate. But my teammate doesn't play Reindog, so I don't want to use that as like a basis. So next is going to be Rick. Rick is another person which would have been high tier, but he is a mage, so he's pretty weak. And projectiles, again, kind of getting pretty nerfed this whole come around. I just think he's just not as good as he used to. If I had to pick either having the infinite projectiles that we have now or the projectiles we used to have before with like 3, I definitely would have picked the 3. Because you could shoot them a lot faster. And again, that's probably just like the game speed. I heard that the input buffer for the game right now is like 30 frames, which is insane. And you just can't really apply that much pressure like you used to. He could still do some inane like knockback with his side air. He still has some nice just like getting people caught up on just his side attack on ground. His up special is still pretty good. Teleport's still there. I think it's a little worse than it used to be, just because again, just how projectiles and everything comes out, and he's almost he almost has like the same idea as in the beta, but he does everything a lot worse than he was able to in the beta. So we'll put him in mid. Next is Shaggy, and I don't know if this is like a crazy take or not, but I think I'm gonna put him in top tier. Shaggy feels like beta Shaggy, where he's like pretty sturdy, like he lives for a while, and he does some insane knockback. And with no attack decay, kicks and uppercuts and stuff like that that do insane knockbacks don't have any weakness to them. People can just keep throwing them out over and over and over again, especially Shaggy. I don't know if I said Shaggy was worse than Banana. I don't think I did, because I don't believe I did, and I don't believe that he is. Shaggy having his rage, which is a lot better than the Bananas. I don't know if it leaves or not. If it doesn't, it is insanely good to just kind of just rage. If you use the sandwich, it comes back so fast to the point where if you do knock someone out, if you get your sandwich rage, it'll happen within like a blink. And he can kill people pretty early. I killed, because I played him online. I don't remember. I killed someone at like 20. I think it was Bugs Bunny, just by hitting an up air into a rage uppercut. Like, it was like I don't think I should be able to kill him that fast, but I did. He's not like the heaviest, but like definitely not the lightest. So yeah, I just think with no attack decay and stuff like that, just being able to just keep throwing out moves like those extremely spammy, just really annoying moves, um, are just super viable now. So yeah. Next up is Steven. And I've been playing Steven a bit, and I don't know where to put him. I probably put him in high tier. He has a lot of loops to just kind of keep people at the ground level. He has some like his like bubble burst is pretty good if you charge it because it's just really big. He is like gem, like I don't even know what it is. Like the line that explodes. It's not as good as it used to. It's actually it's like nowhere good as it used to. I remember that shit used to pop you up super far when you're like at 100%. Now if you're at 100%, it pumps you up like a little bit. It's like a nudge. It's like beginner's tool to start up your little up chain to kill people with. But it's just that itself doesn't really make it good. But I definitely think he's a lot better now. Maybe again, maybe that's just because I'm able. Maybe that's just more of a bias thing. But I found him to be pretty fun and somewhat pretty good in solos and doubles. I don't know if I lost a double with Steven yet, so he's pretty good. I don't see a lot of people playing him, so it's kind of based off my own experience, but I definitely think he can be pretty annoying. Just based off of what I've seen and just kind of my gameplay. I think a match lasts like 3 minutes just because there's just some things you can do, and especially because of one of these characters I still haven't put up yet. Next up is Stripe. Stripe, honestly, I don't know. I think I might actually put him high tier. I kind of like Stripe, from what I've seen. I don't play him, but from what I'm seeing, Stripe is a pretty good assassin. He can get knocked out pretty early, right? Just same as like Arya and Finn. But his dynamite seems to be a lot more fluent than it used to. His dynamite back then was kind of trash. His saw is still pretty good. His gun doesn't kill as easily as it used to, but it definitely still does what it wants to do, just kind of hold people there. And a little bit better now because it seems like it does like a double shot. I don't know if that's like on purpose. I don't know if that's people pressing it twice, but I've seen almost everybody do like a pew pew instead of just like a single shot. So I don't know about that. And he's still pretty good at carrying people, and he's a lot bigger now. He is like, I don't know why he's so big, but he is like kind of big with the cast. Like he's almost the same height as probably Steven. But yeah, I definitely think he's not bad. I think he's a little up there. Superman, I'm gonna put Superman in mid tier. Now I know there are some pretty good like same thing that you could do in beta where you just hit him with a side air into the pummel, into the grab, into the throw, into the side air. Like I know those things, but the thing that takes away Superman's whole identity now is that dodging and the meter for dodging is a lot worse than it used to be. I don't know if I ever had not enough meter back in the beta. I don't think I ever hit a point where I was like out of it. And Superman benefited that from a lot because he would get his dodge meter pretty fast, and he had a lot of moves that needed dodge meter. So he would just be able to do a lot of the same thing. He would have armor almost all his moves, right? He can dodge pretty quickly back then at least. But now with doing like a dodge up air into like a ground move, like you know, like a little speed boost, taking away half of your dodge meter now, it hurts Superman a lot because when he does run out, well, now he doesn't have any armor. He doesn't move as fast. He can get hit easier. He can get hit easier, right? And if you do catch him in one of those spots where he does run out of his dodge, it's hard for him to get out. It's hard for him to leave and not take a lot of damage. And even though he's still a tank and he can still withstand at least like 130 damage, if he doesn't have his dodges anymore, well, he's kind of fucked. And then also his grab doesn't go up or down anymore. If that's a glitch, I don't know. But yeah, I just think personally now, even though he still has like those side ladders, he definitely still gets hurt by the dodge meter being so affecting now. Like I can't put to words how much I realized today, like wow, dodge meter itself, when you dodge you can do like up to 5 dodges without hitting people. Dodging, like hitting people and getting hit, doesn't really refuel that much dodge itself, and then doing one of those like dodges into like the jump to get some speed and some momentum, taking away half of your meter is like a crucial thing, and it honestly left me in shock. Next up is Taz. And I like Taz. I played him for a little bit, and I definitely think he's not bad. The thing that puts Taz in mid tier though is that I think Taz is a lot worse at one, his apple, just because now with the boot it doesn't go as far, because it used to just be a projectile that shot out until it hit the ground. Doesn't do it anymore. So kind of sucks there. The other two are one, anvil, again, projectiles being a lot smaller, anvil being very tiny, and also doesn't go as far as the anvil once did. Hurts it a lot. It still has like roughly the same knockback and stuff, but it really hurts having that perk on. And then the other perk with like people joining in, like, come on, bro, give me a break. No one uses that. And Dogpile and Tornado seem to be a lot more of a harder move to hit on people, it seems. It seems like Dogpile used to suck in people in the beta, but now it's really like people can be in the Dogpile and they still won't get like sucked in, or they won't get damage or anything. And with the priority hitting system, it seems like Tornado gets jabbed out a lot of its, priority. So it's harder for him to get those type of kills with Tornadoes and Dogpile, and with just having like a nice projectile to throw out. But other than that, he's still, if you can still hit him, he still is able to kind of ring out people pretty early just from being out there, out and about. But it doesn't put him any higher because of it. And honestly, I think I'm going to put TJ in the I don't know tier, just because personally I find Tom to be a very bad character, because I used to play him a lot. I love Tom, and coming back to him was just kind of like the most heart-sinking thing ever. I don't know what is like with his deal. I don't know if it's because everything's slower. I don't know if it's just because it's so zoomed in. Um, when I played him, I was like, man, like just using Jerry, using his projectiles, just doesn't feel the same. You use his paddle and you can't even go do into trash can lid. Like you can't even do that. His rocket's pretty slow, just because most projectiles are pretty slow. His tennis balls are slow, but that doesn't really affect me too much. Um, yeah, just everything that they have set up so far, like Tom and Jerry, just kind of falls flat, at least from my eyes. I've seen people say Tom and Jerry is really good though, so I personally don't know. Again, leave in the comments what you think about these three. If I had to again pick, you probably be roughly around low tier. You probably would be mid tier, and you definitely would probably be the lowest in my tier just because you personally hurt me so much, Tom and Jerry. Time for someone that's also in the low tier though. It's probably gonna be Velma. She does not do anything that she used to do in the beta. She used to be a very good queen at just staying away and keep doing that whole keep away dance. And if you did go up to her and fight her, she could scrap. But with now everything being slower, the frame input and everything like literally everything being slower, she cannot do her combos. Her speaker got blasted, right? It's now an infinite thing that is now like kind of like a shotgun blast where you have to like stand up to people and then it goes kaboom. She still got like her speech bubbles, but speech bubbles are also tinier. Like she is just nowhere as good as she used to be, and it kind of sucks because Velma used to just. I never played Velma, but she did seem like a character that I would maybe eventually at some point pick up. But at least for now, definitely not. Now for Wonder Woman, I'm putting her top tier. And this is a character that honestly, if I had to pick like a definitive best, probably would be, it'd probably just be something like that right there, just at least for the top one. But the reason I'm putting Wonder Woman up here is just her infinite lassos and her armor. It really feels like not a lot of characters have armor breaking moves, and Joker is the one character that really had the armor break move. I was like, oh, okay, this is really nice because Wonder Woman is just insanely good. Her armor, I don't know, again, just like not being able to throw out as many moves as you used to kind of hurts you when fighting Wonder Woman with shield, because she can hit you back just as quick, right? Like you're both throwing out one move, you have to break, you can't dodge right after, so then she just hits you, and then she can do her aerial combos, side combos. She's pretty strong with like how small it feels like the arenas are now. And her infinite lassos, dude, I don't know who ever approved of that, but they must have been on something. Infinite lassos are so annoying for battle. You can't approach her, because if you do approach her, right, with everything being slower, either you jump over it and you're able to get enough time to go and attack her, or if you slightly are a little too slow to the party, she'll dodge and then hit you with her shield, and then she can just run up and she can combo you till death. Like, she is a very good character. And Infinite Lassos just keep that stalling game. She is the infinite camper, and she doesn't even have a projectile. She could just sit there and keep throwing that bad boy out. And then the hitbox coming back, it's still hitting you too. It's the reason why I think she is the best. I've been seeing her, and I'm like, yep, she is the best character. Maybe it was Nakat. Maybe Nakat made all that. I was like, yep, proved it. I was like, yep, let's go. But I don't know. But that's my whole list. That's my whole reasoning of these people here. These are probably the only ones that are probably in order of what I would say is top tier. High tier, mid tier, low tier. And I don't know because I don't know. I haven't seen enough of them. And this one is pretty biased. But you let me know what your tier list looks like. Tell me what you think is the top enemy of the game. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me ramble once more about this. Tomorrow will be some banana gameplay because I got a good amount of it, and he is a good character, but he's still really fun to play. So, yep, that'll be coming out tomorrow, and who knows? But check in every day. I'm gonna try to be uploading a video every single day now because school's over, and I'm gonna really try my best. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Peace.